Everyone, I'm Blake. Welcome to BM Sculptures. Today we're going to do a bear carving out of epoxy and wood, and I am going to make a careless mistake that cost me $2,000. This one was a bit of a roller coaster with so many ups and downs along the way, but at the end of the day, I'm super excited with how this one-of-a-kind bear sculpture turned out. Alright, let's get right into this build. First thing I'm going to do is rip some of the wider boards on the table saw, that way they can fit over on my joiner. I'm going to be using this Buckeye burl, and before I put them through the planer and joiner, I want to make sure all the dirt and debris is out because that can end up ruining my machines. So here I'm just taking out all the bark and dirt from all these little inclusions and gaps within this Buckeye burl. Next, it's time to run each joined board through the planer, making sure we have perfectly flat and parallel sides. From there, we brought everything back to the table saw and ripped everything to the final width. If you guys have been watching my videos and following me for a while, you know that I love incorporating this red colored wood in almost all of my sculptures. I wanted to know, do you guys know what kind of species wood this is? Let me know down in the comments. I want to see how many of you guys guessed this right. The client sent me a photograph of a sculpture they already have, and basically they wanted me to do an exact mirror image of that sculpture. So I am actually using the photos they provided as my exact reference and template for this sculpture. I'm going to try something a little different in this sculpture. All my previous sculptures normally have a vertical wood orientation. For this one, I wanted to try a horizontal pattern. With the horizontal pattern in mind, I thought it would also be really cool and unique to have sharp edges being submerged within the epoxy portion. I think this will translate to really unique edges where the epoxy meets the wood in the carved sculpture. For the ends of the Buckeye burl, I'm just going to leave them natural and jagged, and I think this will be a pretty cool look as well. Now that everything is nice and cut and cleaned, it's time for the glue up, and there's nothing special here. I am just gluing them up into layers. That way I can put them through the planer, making sure they are perfectly flat for the next glue up. I do the final glue up and then let that cure overnight, and it's time for the penetrating epoxy. I'm using Moss penetrating epoxy, and if you're interested, use the code BLAKE at checkout and you'll receive 10% off and free shipping for all their products. I end up doing 2 separate coats of this penetrating epoxy, and what this really does is it just seals in all of the wood, making sure that no air bubbles will come out of the wood when you do the final epoxy pour. Now we're ready for the final pour, and I do apologize. I completely forgot to push record on my camera. So what you're seeing here is some older footage, but it's basically the same process. You pour the epoxy in the bucket, you mix it up, and you pour it in the mold. It's exactly what I did. And now we wait 7 days, and let's see the catastrophic mistake that I made. Bubbles spread throughout the entire mold, evenly spread out. They're big bubbles. They're not even ones you could barely see. They are clearly visible. Let's take this thing apart and see what we're really working with here. As you can see, there are bubbles spread throughout this entire thing. What I did differently is I did not vacuum chamber or let the epoxy rest in the buckets before pouring in. If you want an in-depth look at what went wrong here, be sure to check out this video right here where I experimented doing these deep pours of epoxy. There's no way I'm wasting this giant block of epoxy and wood. I have around $2,000 of materials and about 2 full weeks worth of work gone into this. So I'm going to try and make something cool out of this and see what happens. When I first found out Established Titles wanted to sponsor this video, I thought, it's about time I finally get my own plot of land in my family's motherland of Scotland. I am a McFarland after all, and what better way to show my Scottish pride than to force my daughter to call me Lord Dada.
You now have to call me Lord Dada.
Are you
I am a lord.
Why are you cold? What happened to your face?
I'm gonna have to work on that one. Established Titles is a project based on a historic Scottish custom where landowners are referred to as lairds, or lords and ladies in English. Title packs give you at least 1 square foot of dedicated land and an official certificate with a crest. Your certificate features a unique plot number which you can see the exact location of your land. They even plant a tree with every order. This makes for an amazing last-minute gift. Established Titles is actually running a massive sale. Plus, if you use the code BMSculptures at checkout, you get an additional 10% off. Go to establishedtitles.com/BMSculptures to get your gift now and help support the channel. Thanks, guys. All these boards are going to be available for sale over on my Instagram stories highlights, so be sure and check it out. Most of these serving boards are going to have flaws which include minor air bubbles. I will be pricing them accordingly to the flaws and the different sizings. Be sure to check these out. I will put a link to my Instagram right here. Alright, back to the sculpture now. We are on round 2. I went back to the lumber yard. I spent around $600 on more lumber. And we are going to rip it, join it, plane it, make it perfectly flat, re-glue up, re-penetrating epoxy, and in no time we're going to be back to where we just were. This time around, I remember to hit that record button when pouring the epoxy, so you will see the full process now. I will put a little bit of tint in the epoxy. I like to use purple to offset any yellowing. I am definitely going to remember to put this in the vacuum chamber, and here you can see how much air and bubbles come out of this epoxy. It's pretty crazy. Now that we are bubble free, I pour this as slowly as I possibly can, trying not to stir up any extra air inside this epoxy. And this is a total of 7.5 gallons. And again, if you want to see how to do this and all of the science and information behind this, please go check out this other video. I'll put a card up above. I go over everything. Now for the moment of truth. From the top, we are looking crystal clear, and I am super excited. Let's take this thing apart and see what we're really working with here. This is the best pour that I have ever done. It is crystal clear, no bubbles, no fractures, no nothing. This is as clear of a pour you can get, all with doing 7.5 gallons in a single pour. I am thoroughly impressed that this worked the way it did, and I'm super excited about it. I may be excited about the pour, but I am not excited about my measurements, and here is mistake number 2. I did not account for the planing of each layer, and by planing them before gluing them up, I actually lost a full inch. So I had to shrink my bear about an inch in height, and in doing so, the width was longer and the length was longer. So basically, I had to cut 2 more pieces, but don't you worry, I have a plan for these. Yes, you probably can guess it. This is going to be more cutting boards, but these ones are going to be pretty special because there are 0 flaws in it, and one of them right here is a perfect end grain cutting board, and then you have 2 other more epoxy and wood charcuterie or cutting boards. These, again, like the other ones, will be on my Instagram page on the stories for sale, so be sure and check them out. Without further ado, the moment we've all been waiting for, I know I have, let's get to carving this bear. I like to start off with just cutting off the largest chunks possible. From there, it's all about just carving down to your template lines, and it's really not as hard as people make it out to be. If you have 2 perfectly good templates, you have your profile view and your overhead view or front view, you can do a basic rough out of a sculpture really easily. Again, it's just cutting to your line. So that's exactly what I'm doing here. I am literally just cutting to the lines. I normally like to use 2 chainsaws for this. I have my big 18-inch one, gas one that you see here, and then I have a little electric one that I absolutely love. But for the majority of this sculpture, it was in the shop, which meant I did not have a very good finesse chainsaw for these inner parts like this. So this was a bit Nerve-wracking right here trying to do all the detail parts with 18-inch chainsaw, but I just tried to be as careful as possible and not nick any of those lines. I always have to tell myself to slow down on these sculptures. I get really impatient and I want to just keep cutting and cutting and cutting, but I have to keep telling myself, bring it inside, retrace your template lines, and just do it slow. Slow and steady makes these things come to life. Any little mistake or slip of the chainsaw could end up ruining this entire sculpture. So I always have to tell myself, slow and steady, slow and steady. So that's exactly what I'm doing here. And after I'm done cutting most of the bulk portions with the chainsaw, I switch to this Arbortech mini carver, which does a great job at just hogging out material in small areas like this. Once I'm done with these tight to reach places, it's time to bring in the angle grinder, and this is the tool that I use probably on the majority of all these sculptures with different carving discs. And again, I'll put a link to all these tools I use and the discs in the description, so if interested, check it out. Once I feel like the shape is generally roughed out, I'll bring the whole sculpture inside and I'll use some smaller carving burrs to really get the details out and bring the details to life. Believe it or not, filming and editing these videos take about the same amount of time as actually carving the sculpture. If you like this video and haven't already, please consider subscribing. Every subscription, comment, or a simple thumbs up helps me continue to make these videos for you guys. Thanks, guys. If anyone's afraid of a little dust and debris inside your shop, carving is not for you. This is very, very messy, very dusty. You have to be wearing full respirator and goggles, if not the full face mask like I have, because this gets very, very messy. Once I'm happy with all the details, it's time to start sanding. I'll start from 40 grit and work my way all the way up to 5,000 grit wet sanding. This takes a very long time and you have to be very, very patient in order to do this correctly. The Buckeye burl has a few natural voids in it, which I just fill with more epoxy and let it cure overnight, and then sand it down like nothing was ever there. Once all those voids are filled, it's back to sanding. And I actually enjoy sanding the epoxy portion of these sculptures because you can see so much change with every grit. Every next grit sequence just makes it clearer and clearer until you have a glass-like finish. And it's just really cool to watch come to life, something completely opaque going to perfect see-through glass like this. This is right around 3,000 grit here, and I'm going to bring this all the way to 5,000 wet sanding. Now that we're done sanding, the only thing left to do is give this bear a nice oil rub down. Oh, sometimes I wish I was a bear getting an oil rub down. That would be nice. Okay, I have a question for you guys. This is the first time I've done a full voiceover kind of explaining my process and how these sculptures work. I want to know, do you guys prefer that or do you want a just music only watch me work? I'm super interested on what you guys like and what you guys prefer because I will be doing that in the future. Let me know down in the comments what you like better, and that's what I'll do. You ready to check out this final bear? Let's go. side note here, this is probably my favorite part of the sculpture. Check out this tiny little sliver of Paduk that made its way into this bear's head. That's a really cool detail that I just wanted to point out, and just lucky that that ended up where it did. It's pretty cool. I hope you guys like watching this video. I love how this bear turned out. And until next time, this is Blake from BM Sculptures. Have a good one.